You're on the wrong side. Okay, I have Roni with me, and Roni is my quarter horse. He is my third horse that I've ever owned, and I don't take him away from Luke very often. This is Luke, and we're going to hear him call out quite a bit. And I've talked about the idea of helping horses be okay with their friends leaving. And so I've been working on some of that kind of stuff. And I thought I'd bring you guys along because you don't get to see this guy very often. We don't do a lot of video work together. Roni is actually a really neat horse. Hey, slow down, big guy. And he's got this personality that I talk about, that I'd like to see a lot of horses have, and in that he does a lot of sort of chickens. Hey, slow down. Slow down. Right, there's a check-in. A little bit of a check-in. He'll come and check out and just, you know, if I'm okay with something. Slow down. Check. And I really, really like that about him. How when I ask for something, he'll kind of check. And stop. And check. He's so cool. Anyhow, I don't know if you guys are going to hear Luke in the background yelling out, "Where's my buddy?" But we're just going to be working on that a little bit here and there throughout the next week or so, because I don't want Luke freaking out that much. Whenever I've taken Roni out now, he calls out. So anyways, you guys are part of it. But on a side note, it is Thanksgiving here in Canada, so I thought I would also give a little thanks to everybody for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting and encouraging, and definitely thank you to all the members here on YouTube and over on Patreon. I know I've been a little bit slow. It's one of Gracie's piles. Enjoy, buddy. A little bit slow the last month, but this month has been big. I plan to have quite a few videos up, and I think there's already 6 just this month. So thank you for being patient. I really wanted to put that out on a day like this. A lot to be thankful for. Thankful for the weather. We've been having fantastic weather. Look at this sunset coming through. It's not quite the sunset, but it's getting later on in the afternoon. But yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for just being such a great community to be part of. And it's just good to have you here. So, Roni and I are going to be wandering around a little bit and trying to not necessarily get him used to the forest, because he doesn't really have much of a problem. I mean, he's looking around quite a bit, but he doesn't get too concerned about things. He likes to be out and about. He's pretty brave, I guess you could call it, or just plain confident and relaxed, buddy. Gosh, you know, I just feel like it's such a treat that he's got that in him, even though I haven't really put a lot into putting that in him. And it brings up the subject of, it's another feed spot, right? It's my simulated pasture is what I call it. And it brings up the topic that a lot of people ask about, because I've been doing a lot of this with Gracie. Well, you know, is it in their genes? Is it in their DNA? Is it in their breed? You know, is it nature or is it nurture? And the only answer I think that I could give is that it can be both. And it could be both, or it could be just more than one or the other. And we're never really going to quite know the answer. But we do have control over one of them, and that is the nurture part. And sometimes you're starting off with such a nice, poor guy. We're gonna wander back so we can say, hey, we're coming back, and then we're gonna leave again. And sometimes we can, what was I saying? Nature versus nurture. And then, hey, can you please slow down a little bit, because you're getting a little ahead. Luke caught me off guard there, didn't he? He was like, "Whoa." But so the thing that we have control over is whether or not we can teach them or give them. He's really struggling. How come you don't call back out to him? When he says, "I don't care. It's better to be in the forest." We can give them education. We can give them time. We can give them all kinds of reassurance. Can you slow down? Just a smidge. Slow down. Thanks. We can give them this experience and reassurance. We can pet them as we go. We can talk nicely to them. We can give them food. Maybe it helps a little bit to come out into an environment that they think, cool, I like being where we are. And that'll feel good. We can't affect nature. We can't. So it kind of, in my mind, it's like, why worry about it? Like, why worry about whether or not it has anything to do with nature? Why think about, is it because he's a quarter horse? Is it because he's a male horse, a gelding? He's at the fence. Or is it that, he's had enough time to kind of get past things? And I haven't spent a lot of time with him on the trails whatsoever. We've done a few little walks, a couple of rides, and other than that, he's just kind of just a nice little inquisitive guy. He doesn't get too worried about things. How's it going, buddy? See, we're back. Okay, Ronnie, stop. Chicken. Okay, we're gonna leave again. So I'm practicing what I preach, which is when I'm dealing with a horse that gets worried that their friend leaves, you just keep coming back. You just come back and say, hello, we're right here. We're just gonna go back into the forest again. But I think the idea of the nature versus nurture thing is fascinating, but really, in reality, there's nothing that we can do in regards to nature. And even if it was the case, it's not going to change the way we deal with it. I think that the idea that we should put in our heads, whether they're good or not good with certain things, is that it's going to take as much time as it kind of takes to get through the things. So the more that we can be prepared to see the things that are not going well, or to recognize the signs that there's going to be some trouble, the better, rather than thinking about, well, this horse is a quarter horse, or this horse is a mare, or this horse is a Arabian, or this horse is a Percheron, or this horse is a draft horse, so blah, blah, blah. We do know, it's getting noisy in here, isn't it? A lot of leaves coming down. Anyways, we do know that certain breeds can be calmer or more lively, have more energy, but we actually can't rule out that it's a bit of nurture. Because if we think about it, if we start looking at a particular breed, or look at this guy cut me off. Look at you cut me off, get out of the way. If we start looking at horses as a particular breed or gender, and then we have in our head this expectation that something is going to happen, we'll end up sort of treating that or over preparing for it. I think I've got a spider web on me. Ugh. And in turn, we sort of create our own destiny. Does that make sense? Like, it's quite common in the horse world, but to bring it sort of closer to more human situation or form, we could think of racism. And very, very common that somebody will have a perception of a person based on their skin. I'll actually give you an example from my own life. Not that I was racist, but that I was treated in a racist way. Roni, we better go back before Luke pees his pants. He's really missing you. So we're gonna make another trip back, another trip out, and then we'll be done. But I lived in Japan for a little while. And there was one point where I needed to find a place to live. And to do that, you have to go to this place called the Fideliusam. And what that is, it's kind of like a realtor in a way, where they control a lot of land, or not land, or like the apartments or houses, stuff like that, for rental or even sales. It's kind of like a realtor. And I remember walking into this one place, and the guy just looked at me, and even though I was really good at Japanese at the time, it was my 3rd or 4th year there. Ronnie, can you slow down? You're actually really in the wrong position. Like really, really in the wrong position. I've been letting this go for a long time. Back up. Check. Now stay back there, would you? Stay there. Don't go that way. So we come back to Luke. He sees us coming back. Look at this poor guy. It's like, well, don't leave. Okay. So we're giving Luke the acclimation. Now we're gonna leave. Go back out. We gotta go take another trip out and about, and then we'll come back. And I'm gonna do this for the next week. So he's next on my list to kind of deal with, not that Roni needs it, but poor Luke does. So anyways, I walk into this place to go try to find a rental. There was a place in there that I thought I'd like. And the guy looks at me, and he literally just didn't say a word. He just waved me back out the door. And it wasn't from anything that I had said in a bad way. I said, I'm just looking for a place to live. And I certainly didn't look poor. I had the money to rent, and it wasn't a problem. But based on the fact that I was a foreigner. Now, it's not that it's unwarranted. At the time when I was living there, there were cases where foreigners would rent a place, trash it, and leave, go back to their own country. So there's something to be said for that. But at the same time, it's racist. The definition of racist is to judge somebody based on their color of their skin or country they're from. Thanks, Ronnie. See how often he kind of checks in. It's a really good thing to kind of pay attention to. And I walked out of there feeling kind of sad because I'd never been treated that way. I'm white. I can say that. It's so rare to have that happen, and Canadian at that. I mean, who treats a Canadian badly? You kind of end up thinking in your head, especially compared to our southern neighbor. Whole other story altogether. Funny stories all around. But generally, yeah, Canadians, we knew quite a few Americans that had like Canadian flags on their backpacks because they knew they'd get around a little bit better. Anyhow, the point is that despite that I had plenty of good friends that were Japanese that would easily be good referrals and references, there wasn't even a chance I was going to get an opportunity to talk to this person based on that. And I think it's really important that the leaves are falling out of it. It's so cool. I think it's really important that we also look at horses the exact same, that we look at them for who they are in the moment, for who they are as they go about their day or their time with you. I'm going to turn so you have to, and then go from there. So rather than looking at them as the breed that they are, or the gender that they are, or the color that they are, the age that they are, I mean, there's some things that we can be cautious about based on some of those things, maybe, but we really want to look at a horse as just the horse that it is. Hey, go around. You're on the wrong side. Thanks. Very dangerous. So that when we're reacting to what they're doing, we're just reacting to that behavior. And if it takes a little longer, so be it. If it's shorter, bonus, you get to move on to the next thing quicker. But I believe that a lot of horse behaviors are nurture more than nature. And so that's fine. But either way, it doesn't change the way I deal with it anyways. So it doesn't make a difference if I know no matter what. Hopefully that makes sense. I write a lot of the comments where people say, well, your horse is whatever, so it whatever. And I just keep saying over and over again, Doesn't matter. It's not important. We don't, hey, you're way ahead of me. See, check. Stay back. Ah. Check. Running so cool. It doesn't matter. Just treat the animal as you see them, the behaviors as you get them, and the responses to your teachings as you have them. Yeah. Anyways, something quick I thought I'd say and have you guys hang out with Roni a little bit since he's such a cool horse. So that's it for this one. I think Luke's got a little bit better. He's still at the corner, just dying to bring them both. Maybe that'd be a bit of a challenge. Yeah, that's it for this one. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Happy Thanksgiving from us to you, even though I guess I don't know how many countries celebrate Thanksgiving. I guess 2, maybe just 2 of us, Canada and the States is in November. Ours is a month early. So, but that's it. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for being so great. It's been an absolutely fantastic community. Well, it is a fantastic community, but it will be for another year till the next Thanksgiving when I say thank you. So, how you doing, buddy? We made it back. Everybody's calling out. It's pretty cool. It's really neat. So, that's it for now. I'll see you guys in the next one.